Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I'm your host Mary Ellen. This is an episode of Slow Stitching Sew Saturday on a Sunday. So, what have we been up to? Well, I don't think my list has gotten any shorter. It's just sort of transitioned into other things. So let's recap and sort of do some accountability on what we've been up to. So I've got another bowl cozy underway. This one is also a Christmas gift, and what I need to do there is just hand stitch the opening that turns it right side out, and then once I've done that, then I will go through the process of making that as nicely rolled as possible, do the hems, and then we're done. So that one thing. Two thing. I'm going to go possibly in order of the things that I have you are most familiar with because you've seen them before. Exciting. Have finished 2 pairs of socks. I finished the knitting portion of the 2 pairs of socks. I have not sewn in the ends. This is kind of squishy because I've got tucked the additional yarn in here. So we need to do ends, but sewing ends at the moment is not something that I am interested in doing. Where does that go? It goes over there maybe? I don't know, possibly. In any event, we need to sew in ends. Should I be making notes? I feel the yes. I feel the yes. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to, and I'm going to do this in large, because otherwise we won't be able to see it. So what did I say? Okay, need to finish cozy. Do it that way. Two is sew in ends of socks. Boo. But it's something that must be done. So that goes there, and that's a bit of a priority. So those are stacked there. What else have you seen before? Oh, yes. So possibly not a super big priority, but it made me happy to work on it. This is my reworked kind of lap thing. And so this used to have stuff at the bottom. I picked that all out, and then I have crocheted it back in, but crocheted it in a double way. So when I did my cakes, I pulled one from the middle and then one from the outside, and this is very thin. This is the very first hand spun yarn that I've ever done, and it's not, the main purpose of it was to learn, and having learned it wasn't really good for anything, but to 2-ply it and then do a fairly dense crochet works an absolute treat. So this is starting to get some wear in it, meaning when I had it originally, I was using it, and it's getting this kind of really soft, yummy, felty feeling in it. And I am super looking forward to this being done. This is all I have left. So I'll probably get maybe a row. Then I need to just chain stitch the bottom here, take that out, and then that will be done. So that is, what do we call that? 3 is finish. Ugh. Finish the coverlet. And then I'm looking around. So we have this, which we will get to once I've done my updates. I feel like I've gotten a lot of new projects. So the one project that you probably saw from before, which is my advent calendar, all these little bits. I am on, that is day 6. It's not going quickly because I only do it at the end of the day, and end of the day doesn't have a lot of energy in it. I love this box. Here are the ones we have so far. We've got reindeer, got a bell, got reindeer, got a snowman, got a sake sock. The advent calendar itself has, oh, I haven't done a red one yet, have I? 4 different colors. There's 24 squares in all. I'm having difficulty figuring out which of these need to go on red, blue, white, and green. Except to say that the snowman, this little glob of snow, and this snowflake will also go on blue. And I'm starting to change the colors a lot because I'm having difficulty figuring out which goes with which. They didn't give that part of the instruction. And it's hard. I know, it's hard. Okay, so 4. Let's keep working on the advent calendar. Under new projects, I have 5, 4, at least 4. New project number 1. I did some yarn washing, and I found these socks, and these socks probably are scarf socks, not actual socks, because they wore out really quickly. Part of me wants to pick out up till there and then reball whatever this is, and then just make some fingerless gloves. And this one has got the same kind of dealio. These socks kind of made me crazy because look at how much darker this one is to this one. So that's that side, that's that side, that side, and that side. This one clearly has way more black. It's pretty though. So that's a project that's probably, I'm going to say it's low priority. Let's call it low priority because I'm going to have to think. So let's put that over there. Next thing, last year I did Arne and Carlos's stocking, which is this, and almost all of this except for this green, yep, is my hand spun, more hand spun, which probably gave me the idea to do the hand spun blanket. I only have one of these. I don't really hang it up. I didn't do the one that they had for this year. I suppose I could pick it out, but that would be a bummer. For grins, I put that around my neck and it fits. So part of me kind of wants to put like a button there, and maybe like a buttonhole there, or a button there and make a loop. Maybe that's a better way of doing it. A nice bold green button maybe, because this is going to be an amazing scarf. And this heel is already giving it the ability to sort of do a curve. We do multiple buttons. So that's another change of knitwear, low priority. Another low priority, saw somebody on the internet do this, and oh, I want to do this so bad. So, Exhibit A. This is a topograph of Saturna Island. And what this person did was they crocheted the topographical map. So they probably, not this one, it was a different map, of course. So they might have started there, and then they would have just created the crochet so that it would work, and then they would do another round, and then they got a flat piece that was a topographical map. Love that idea to the power of the sun. Having said that, you could do the same thing with applique, or applique, but applique, and that is take a large piece, then applique the next layer, and then the layer after that, and the layer after that, and so you basically create a build-up. You could do the same kind of thing with paper, and you could also take a flat piece, like a single layer of material, transfer these lines, and then essentially create that as a pattern. To the power of the sun, I want to do this. And it was absolutely the thing I most wanted to do instead of doing all of the other things, until I saw somebody else on the internet, and I think she's got, yes, so Grace Mitchell, that's her Instagram. Oh, there's her TikTok, her Etsy, and also her Reddit. So she has a foldable ornament, and this is a free download. She has 4 versions of it, 3 of which are, she's placed designs in all of these. Wouldn't this be a fabulous English paper pieced piece? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what you do is, when you get all this done, you're gonna attach it like that, and you're gonna attach the bottom. I want to do this so badly. And a very long time ago, I came into possession of, I will show this to you in a second while I pull off a thread, this piece of fabric, which makes my heart sing. Little dinosaurs, all in Christmas garb. And to fussy these, could you do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might be able to get away with like a 6. You probably could, because all you're going to want to do is like just the top. Or you could do like the whole thing. I don't want to do the whole thing. See, this is what happens. And now I am now deep in planning. I do not need to deep plan. But the whole idea of being able to do an English paper piece of this, even if it's just plain fabric, we could do that. I love this piece of fabric. It just makes me laugh every time I see it. It is beyond whimsy. So another thing, low priority. Nearly done. One more thing. Behold the pomegranate. Where did I come across this? Not this particular pomegranate. I got this at the grocery store. possibly the internet. No, this was me. This was me all on my own. So we here in the Northern Hemisphere in Canada only get these at Christmas time. And they are sort of a one and done. You get them, they're done, and then you move on. And they stain terribly if you have a juice accident. And I was in the grocery store and I went, oh, those stupid things, that they stain like anything, and they're so hard to get like the fruit meat out. And then I went on my way, and then there was this little voice in my head that went, it's kind of like, what is it, the phrase, a weed is an underappreciated flower. A stain is just an underappreciated dye. And so, bink, little idea. It's like, I wonder what this does in terms of a dye material. So apparently, 2-3 things. 1, absolutely a dye material. 2, absolutely full of tannin, can be saddened with iron. And 3, how do I have 4 fingers up? I don't know. What was the third idea? Does not retain doesn't dye red, but dyes yellow or green. So we are going to have a little boilio session with this, and of course I'm going to show you results. The things that I have seen have had. You take this, you boil it. It is preparing a dye from this, and what I want to do is just do the raw, like the raw dog dye. Peel this off, roll her up, boil her up, and see what we get. If you're going to try this, check out the internet to find out the most convenient way to undo this, because if you just start picking at it, you'll be dazed. I also went foraging and have got some beech branches that have fallen from the tree, and I might do a second one of this. So we're going to try some winter dyeing, just to see what we get. And is that all? I think that's all, but I do need to, so 5 actually is the dyeing. Because that's not going to last forever. And let's do 6. The most thing I want to do is the EPP ornament. I probably will also need to do another bowl at some point, but we're not going to worry about that. So let us, oh wow, we didn't even just jam this in the bowl and said, okay, I'm done. Wow, alrighty. I don't know where we were at last time, but we were in a mood. Wow, this was a jam and go. Okay, that's a bit of a mess. There, oh, goodbye. Just get some of this laid out neatly. And where were we? Where did we last leave off? I think we were trying to sort of make these a little bit tighter, weren't we? Yep, that's what we were doing. So a little, I'll just pick a spot, because it looks better if the X's are tighter. At least that's what I have discovered. I am really looking forward to doing the dyeing with the pomegranate. Pomegranates are really expensive. That one cost $4 Canadian. Just, I suppose that isn't all that expensive, but maybe it's, they're expensive if you have expectations of them being less expensive. How's that? And I didn't expect them to be $4. Sure, let's keep going. The second round may not be so bad. Meaning, you have one round of stitches and then time goes by and you fill it in and you have you're a different person when you come back, and therefore the stitches are a little different. Maybe adds to the variability. That's what I want to say. I was thinking about this project the other day and thinking, so wow, this is so slow, which is possibly why it's called slow stitching. Oops. So I've mailed off the spun dog hair Christmas ornaments and bowl cozy #1. And then this bowl cozy is going to be picked up after a visit. And I have every expectation that when that bowl cozy gets into the destination household, I am overnight going to have demands for 4 more. Because there is no way that the rest of the family is going to look at that and say, well, we just have the one. They're all going to say, well, what about me? Which is fine. I do not mind. But I'm going to wait until they ask. Because that way I don't have to make I don't have to make anything in a rush over Christmas. I also owe that person a quilt. And I say, that's probably not a right way of characterizing it. I said that I've already made her one. And she's like, oh, can I have another one? Yes, you can have another one because I love you that much. It is very cold today. It is about minus 20, 25. So the sun is out. It is bright. But it is chilly. Chilly, chilly, chilly. And in anticipation of anyone in America watching this, that is about minus 5, minus 10, around there. Good time had by all. Gracie had her picture with her Christmas picture, and I would not normally go and get air quotes, a Santa Claus picture for the pet. But my vet does a fundraiser for their pro bono work with an animal rescue. And the way they do that is they will take pictures for a donation, and I am on board. So I took Gracie out in the very cold, wrapped up in 100 blankets because she's a delicate little flower. She was fabulous. And then she's been curled up on her chair in the sun, asleep since. So absolutely not the worst for wear. And I'm trying to think of the date now. What's the number of today? I don't know. 14, 15, I don't know. 14? 14. I think it's 14. I'm officially on a vacation from low work, which is very exciting. Well, I say I'm on vacation. I have 1, 2, possibly 3 more meetings to attend, but it's like, yeah, whatever. I can do them remote. It'll be fine. And so what does that mean? That means I have time to do stuff, which is great because, well, clearly I am never not collecting more things to do. Let's see if we can make it all the way to the bottom of that. What was I going to say? I also want to go make the long trek into the city being Toronto, which is how you say it if you're from here. And I want to visit at least 2 museums that I have in mind. Well, I want to visit the Art Gallery of Ontario. And there is a Textile Museum of Canada. I want to go see both of those. Ooh, we're going to be squeaking. Yeah, these X's go a whole lot slower. And it remains whether or not I can actually get enough gumption to go. I would like Christmas holidays to be held during warm weather. Kind of like summer holidays. Okay, so that's that piece. Now we do so I need to do like just 2 passes, I think, because it'll be better. It'll be better, man. Okay, and we've got 2 of those. So I think I was trying to do it tighter. Okay, thread your needle and then do some assessment. Okay. So this could do, so I was doing it tighter anyways, or at least I was trying to. because that's super tight. That's super loose, so that was probably that way. And then we're trying to figure this out. So let's pick it up here and see if we can't do something tight. No idea whether or not this is going to work. Probably not. What was I thinking? I was thinking about what kind of plants I want to put in the garden for next year. And one of the plants that I would like to put in, or a class, is dye plants. So I have woad seed. I think I have indigo seed. And then I have a lot of stuff that I already know that I can dye, like marigold, sage, and I have access to all kinds of other things like buckthorn and whatnot, oak, beech, etc. And I had some tea the other day that was turmeric. And the thought occurred that I bet turmeric, it's gotta go that way, is a dye. I'm not certain of this, but I think it might be. And so my thought then became, I wonder if I can grow that. One of the issues of living in Canada, of course, is that you don't have a long growing season. And she's cold. Doing this bit of Xing is very satisfying because that has a very, I was going to say loud, obvious edge to it. And this feels like it's really nice suturing up. Of that gap. I got a dye book. Did I show you? I probably did. It's like Dyes of Ontario or something, Colors of Ontario, whatever. I'll have to pop that out and see what it says about turmeric. I wonder if turmeric is kind of like appliqué and appliqué. You'll have to let me know. There. It looks completely different here versus there. But we're going to keep going with this anyways. Once I get all the Christmas stuff sorted out, what do I have to do? We have to return to the very large hexie stitching. because I dyed some more material. I think I showed you. And if the pomegranate works, that'll be exciting. Give me even more choice. Which means that I need to figure out what fabric I'm gonna dye. Onto, just to keep everything consistent. Well, it'd be so much easier if I had like an assistant who was keeping notes of all of these things and so on and so forth. I mean, I'm an ideas person. I'm not the actual executor. This one is more suturing of this raw edge. At the vet's today for the picture, I came in and I had made little individually wrapped, wrong word, bonbonnières, little sort of gifty things. And I had put inside of there like a tea bag, some stickers, a little candy cane. Is there anything else? I think that was all. And I had it in my head. It's like, they're probably going to get like a lot of handmade, not handmade, but I mean, they're close to a Tim Hortons. There's a lot of bakeries in the area. They're probably going to get, festive somethings. And so while I was waiting, one of the women at the desk said, "Oh, would you like a pastry?" And I said, no, it's okay. It's like, you do you. And they're like, no, do you want a pastry? And it was like, well, I don't want to, take your food. She goes, no, we have a lot. And so she just sort of pointed me in the direction of where I should be looking. And they had an entire counter sagging with pastries. And and then it's like, oh, well, I do want to do my part to lessen your holiday burden. So sure, give it here. And I had the most glorious, like, blueberry, wasn't a muffin. Kind of a scone, more in the scone world than muffin for sure. And whoever the baker was did not scrimp on the blueberry. It was just lush with blueberry, and it had a beautiful lemon glaze on it. Oh, I had just come in from the cold. See earlier conversation of minus 20. I had been out for a walk. I walked to the vet to get Gracie there. And yes, she was completely bundled. She was perfectly fine. And I hadn't had my breakfast. And under those circumstances, that improves the taste of everything, let alone really good, well-made pastries. Ooh, this one really does need suturing. So this has like that. It doesn't have any overlap. Ooh, this is important work. God, it was good. I think sometimes the act of a little restraint is very useful for the appreciation of whatever it is that you are then going to return to. So food is a great example. A little bit of restraint, and then suddenly you're having a feast. Makes the feast just a wild amount of better, which is exactly what that blueberry scone was. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, then there's no reason why you should, really. But I will probably be posting a picture of Gracie. And I'll try and remember to bring one here. I have a little picture frame. Oops, it's not supposed to go that way. It's all right. It'll be fine. That I got at Michael's. And once I get that get a good, whatever the picture is that I'll use, I will hang that up on my tree. There. Wow. That really makes a difference. Sure. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There. It's another piece. Yeah, that just looks good. For anybody who is very acutely aware of which way I'm doing these stitches, yes, I know I messed it up. Going sort of opposite to what I was doing before. I'll return. Though on this kind of a piece, it doesn't matter. What's the next Sunday after this? 14, 4, 7, 21. It'll be will it be solstice? No, it'll be 22. 4 and 1, 5, 12, 11. Yeah, 21. Okay, never mind. It'll be winter solstice. Well, that'll be fun. Oh, it's gone off again. So we'll either get it on the Saturday or we'll do it on the Sunday. I love winter solstice. The emotional impact that the days getting longer again has on my brain is immense. I know it means a lot of things to a lot of people, but to me, it's one of the things is like, woohoo, we made it. And I always get, what's the word? Suckered into believing that winter is almost over. And no, it is just started. Well, how long is this? Okay, we're just gonna do something silly. I have just this and I just want to see how long. Okay, it's probably unreasonably long, but we're gonna do it anyways. Because longest Mädchen, foulest Mädchen. Hi, I'm your local foulest Mädchen. There, pop that in there, pop that in there, pop that over there, and we want 2. There's 1. It's 2. There. So where's end 1? Here's end 1. Here's end 2. Need to make sure that the bird feeder is topped up as well. Because when the weather is this cold, boy, do birds appreciate having some a fully stocked buffet. Oh, did not work. Come on, you can do it. Get that. Come on. There, look at you. Look at you go. Ooh, sweetie. So I'm looking at my list here of things that I am likely to do and in what order. I am likely to do finish the coverlet first because it's really close. That will be the first thing that I do. And I will spend a lot of time avoiding finishing the cozy. And it's ridiculous. Why? Okay, now which way does this go? This needs surgery. I think we wanted to do that. Okay, let's figure out what the order is here. Shufla, which in the world of mental health, there's a coping strategy called a positive coping strategy called pacing, where you only do a little bit of the thing. You don't do the whole thing, because the whole thing can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's so overwhelming that you don't do any of it. And so the cozy is a perfect example of how I am probably going to do some pacing. And that is, first thing that I need to do is I need to thread a needle that is probably like gray thread. And that's all I need to do. I just need to thread the needle. And then at some time later, what I need to do is sew that little piece. And that's all I need to do. And then the next piece is just pinning all of the edges and then stop. And then the last piece is to top stitch and stop. And then one final piece is just to, clip any threads and make sure everything is sorted. And sometimes when I use that approach, I am full of beans. It's like the what they call it something. Overcoming the inertia has already been done, and like it's like the floodgates are open. It's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just going to go ahead and do this now because I'm fine and everything is good and I can cope with things. And that happens on the regular, not all the time. But it's like a lot of making and needleworking. It's like, okay, I can't do this whole thing in one sitting. I need to just do a bit. It needs to be okay just to do a bit. Because eventually the bits will add up. It may not feel like it, but it's part of the experience and the lessons of slow stitching. And that is, you don't have to go fast. You go at whatever pace you want. I think there's a whole pile of lessons that come from that kind of pace. Oh, that's a pulled piece of fabric. Oh. Oh. Ay, shnubadaba. Ooh, this is such a lovely little suture. Well, it didn't need to be that side. I'm trying to do X's. That's okay. We'll be fine. Here. I should probably do one more. You know what? I'm not gonna. We're just gonna flip over to this side. Oh, look at us go. You're starting to see the actual fabric and not like these weird lines. That's fun. Wrong way. Oh, this is another. Oof. Okay. We're getting close to an hour, and I want to make sure that I get to the end of this piece because it is so delicate. That's the word I'm going to use. And I don't want to have to come back to it and not know that that's what I was doing. Doing this Saturday sew has meant an awful lot to me. I have resumed a sewing practice that I completely abandoned, and that I get to now do little bits and hang out now has made a world of difference in my world. So I appreciate you. Sometimes you forget what you love. And then you go, oh yeah, wait a minute, I love this. Yeah, well, if you love it, then go do it. I could probably do it quicker by doing like the zippy zip. But pardon me. I think if I did that, I would create gaps in the suturing. Yep. That's right. We're still doing good. We're still doing good. I think I'm going to have a cup of tea after this. And as part of my tea is going to be the contemplation of my list. This list. And also a bit of R&D on turmeric. I think I have friends that say turmeric, and it's probably just my brain that wants to say turmeric. Oh, we're getting there. We're nearly done. Kind of gotten into a little bit of a pace now. Well, I'm also very glad that I don't have to go out to the shops. I have enough stuff that I can make. Knowing that my friends will absolutely be thrilled to get stuff that I make. Do I have to do that? Probably. Because it needs to be a V. Oops. So, where are we? Oh, we're more than halfway. So we're up to there. Yeah, we're about a third done. They're done. Second pass. Like. Okay, do we have time to roll this up properly this time? Sort of. I want to have this tightly wound, not kind of flippy floppy all over. It's possibly the best wine that I've done yet. Which might mean that I just needed to get good at it, or at least get used to it. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so we are done. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I certainly appreciate your company. I appreciate what you give to me, which is a place to be accountable and also a place to be able to share some fiber and stitching and textile goodness. That is all for now. Please take very good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Always love you lots, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.